Trailblazer Game Day live from Greater Zion Stadium on a football Saturday. What's going on, sports fans? Glad you're with us here on the YouTube stream or on the Fan Sports Network. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster, and pregame tailgate show built by Bucks Ace Hardware. Caden, here we go. Just home game number 2 and the conference opener for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, home game number 2. I know for you and I, we're excited to be back here in Trailblazer Stadium, Greater Zion Stadium, and have the home field advantage again. It's been a while. They've been on the road for the last few weeks, and I know that Trailblazer fans are excited to be back here at Greater Zion Stadium as well. And again, as you mentioned, the second exciting thing, conference play here in what is the new conference. Last year, obviously, being a part of the WAC. This year, moving on to the combined conference, the UAC. I know that's a really exciting time for us because now we're going to see some teams we haven't seen yet. Tonight, Stephen F. Awesome, we have seen them before.
Right. Last year, WAC game, obviously, down in Nacogdoches, Texas, and it was the Trailblazers that played spoiler. They upset, at the time, the number 19 ranked team in the country. You think the coaching staff's having a problem motivating the players for the Jacks tonight? I don't think so.
Not at all. I think they're really excited to get out here and take on the Trailblazers, and they want to say, hey, you know what? Last year was the fluke. We want to come in here and win at your place. You did it to us. We want to return the favor.
Yeah, and it's always fun to win on the road. And that kind of started what was a nice, strong finish to last season. And now you look at where the Trailblazers are at 1-4 going into this game tonight. And the only win on the slate is NAU. But a lot of people, if you look closely last week at the Colorado State game, that was a 21-20 game midway through the third quarter before Torrey Horton went bonkers, and obviously some late touchdowns there, and Colorado State ended up winning. But this one's going to be fun tonight, and you have 6 conference games, and really this is how Coach Peterson and the program will be judged on how much of a step forward they're taking from last year to this year in these last 6 games.
That's exactly right. They really do need to continue to move forward, and part of that is doing well in conference play. They got to make sure that the conference play is where they start stacking on some wins. You know, that preseason, it's built tough for a reason. They want to build it tough so that they're ready to go when the conference play is here. And guess what? Today, it is here.
Yeah, I mean, in last year's game down there in Nacogdoches, I mean, Vic Gabalis was the quarterback, Joey Hobart. Like, Vic's playing at Tarleton State. Joey Hobart, he's at Texas State. Malaki's graduated, forced to fumble in that game. I think Gabalis had like 4 or 5 touchdowns. I think he had 5 in that game and a shootout. So this is a whole new – I mean, now there's a lot of players that will be playing in this game, football teams that were involved in that matchup. But for the most part, it's going to have its own script. It's going to be its own entity. And we don't know exactly what's going to happen. The odds makers, the Sharps, have the road team favored by 14 points in this game tonight. But we'll see. And the total tonight is they're expecting a shootout after 47-44 last year.
Sure.
The total tonight is 71 points.
So insane.
We could be in for a long night here at Greater Zion Stadium. We got a bunch of stuff in store for you. Kinder's going to join us from the UAC. Brevin Hamlin's going to join us on the show. We've got a coordinator's corner all coming up. And then, of course, a little bit later, right around 6:34, 6:35, we'll go up to the booth to Rod Zundel and Devin Osborne, who will have the call for you, get their thoughts on the pregame festivities. Glad you're with us. Let's go right into it because we got a little late start here. Let's go right into Brevin Hamlin. Caught up with him this week, just a freshman. Really interesting. The wristband, the story about him losing his sister. Hope you enjoy the freshman and I's chat earlier this week. Brevin Hamlin, safety, Utah Tech Trailblazers with me here. Brevin, what's good, man? How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. Freshman coming down here. Tell us about the recruiting process and how Coach Peterson landed you out of Syracuse High School.
Well, so I was recruited kind of later from these guys and was recruited from a couple other schools, but took a visit here and I knew this was my place to come, so now I'm here.
I love it, man. What sports did you play in high school? Just football?
Football, basketball, and then I threw the javelin.
Really?
I was a state champion in javelin. So.
How far?
188.
188?
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, football was the first love, or you were just the best at football?
Football is first love.
Would Coach Pete say you're a hooper? Would he tell me you can hoop still?
I would. I challenge myself against some people, but hooping was not my number one, but.
Well, we're glad you're here at Utah Tech.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about Colorado State. You guys gave them a hell of a fight.
Yeah, it was cool to come out there. They kind of showed us a little different scheme than we were preparing for, so we adjusted to that, and it was a good game. The score doesn't show it, but it was a lot closer than it really was.
Well, yeah, midway through the third quarter, that game's 21-20.
Yeah.
What was the sidelines like when you guys were down a point and you're midway through that third quarter?
Oh, we were all hype, and in the locker room, because we had lightning delays, everyone was pumped up, like pumping each other up. It was a cool atmosphere.
How tough is that as a player to have multiple delays? I mean, you guys have had a couple of times that happen to you this year.
Yeah, it can get to like your head if you let it, but I mean, if you're locked in, it's just part of the game. You got to play with it.
Let's get to know you a little bit more, Brevin. You have a sticker you wear on your helmet,
Yeah.
and you've got, I don't know if we can see this, but a wristband.
upside
That's
down,
for your sister.
Yeah, so my sister passed away in 2014 just to an accident. And so it says Marley's Miracle. So we just try to be a miracle in other people's lives like she was in our life. So yeah, I have a sticker on my helmet it's a teal heart because that was her favorite color. So.
Oh man, great story. I mean, do you think about her before every practice, every game?
Yeah, that's kind of my reason to play. I always tap the helmet and then point to the sky as I'm running out to every football game. So.
Love it. Brevin hanging out with me here, getting ready for finally another home game. This is just home game number 2. We only got
number
4 of
2.
these. And this is, everybody in the UAC conference has played a home game except for you guys. You get Stephen F. Austin. Talk about the week of preparation, getting ready for this home game.
It's been good so far, watching film. They move around a lot with motions and slicers and stuff, so you got to have your eyes right and not get caught in the backfield. So it'll be a good challenge.
They don't have Antonio Gibson anymore. I see him running punts back for the Jets. So one less guy you have to worry about in the receiving core. But
Yeah.
how did the rest of the receivers and quarterback look from what you've seen through these first 5 weeks of the season where you guys have played Colorado State, Montana State, some really good teams, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, of course they're going to have athletes too. Quarterback's a bigger dude, gunslinger, can throw the ball, and receivers are quick, so long striders, so you got to stay on top.
Did you think when you got here to Utah Tech that you could get into the lineup and be a difference maker so early in your career?
I was planning on it. Like, that's my goal. That's everyone's goal. Obviously, no one wants to sit on the sidelines and be like a scout team, but I mean, just put in work and dedication to the fall camp, and now we're here.
How's the chemistry with the defense going?
So far, so good. I mean, they all invited me in, took me in under their wing, so they all helped me out when I need it, and yeah.
You guys ready to, obviously go get win number 1 in conference play Saturday night? What's been the message of the coaches as far as conference in these last 6 games? Because that's really where you guys can show improvement over last year's season.
Yeah, the goal is a conference championship, so because that's still in play, so that's what we want.
Brevin Hamlin with me, man. Great to get to know you. Thanks for sharing the story about your sister, and can't wait to see you Saturday night getting ready for a big-time UAC matchup
Yes,
at Greater
sir.
Zion Stadium.
Yeah, watch for Brevin tonight with the wristband, the sticker on his helmet. Pre-game, he's going to point to the sky. I really believe in, inspiration when tragedy strikes like that. I mean, playing for her, playing for a reason. And this freshman, 7th on the team in tackles, 20 total tackles in 5 games. So he's starting to make an impact. And a couple TFLs and really big, tall safety. So expect big things in the future, but the future is right now for Brevin Hamlin.
Absolutely. It's always nice when you get a young guy like that into your system and they make impacts right away. And as you mentioned, when someone's playing with inspiration and with a little bit of a reason to go out there and perform well, and they want to show, hey, this is what I'm made of, it's always good for them themselves, but then it's also, it affects the team in a way as well.
Yeah, I enjoyed our talk. Just a freshman. I don't know how many interviews he's done
Probably
at this
not a
point
ton.
in time. That might have been one of his first one here at Utah Tech, but it was great to catch up with him. All right, Kendra Sheehan is going to join us when we come back. We're going to take a time out. Trailblazer Football presented by Sand Hollow Resorts. Go to sandhollowresorts.com. Check out the golf packages, their concerts at the Rock Bowl, their estate lots that are now selling phase 1 out there. Some breathtaking views, 360, unbelievable out there at Sand Hollow Resort. sandhollowresorts.com. He's Caden Formaster. I'm Devin Dixon. Trailblazer Game Day, built by Bucks Ace Hardware, continues right after this. Kendra Sheehan, the Director of Digital Operations with the UAC, is going to drop by the show when we come back to Greater Zion Stadium.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross. Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
The Fan Sports Network is your home for local sports. Catch The Drive with Devin Dixon from 7 to 9, and From the Bleachers with Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave from 4 to 6. Plus, Utah Tech and high school sports live on the radio and streaming on thefansportsnetwork.com.
Hey, welcome back. Trailblazer Game Day here at Greater Zion Stadium, and very special guest, as you can see, joining us, Kendra Sheehan with the UAC Conference. First time in St. George, first time to Greater Zion Stadium. What do you think of Southern Utah so far?
It's absolutely beautiful. I got to see the St. George Marathon this morning. The men's basketball team here was handing out water, part of their new mantra, Unite the Family and Into the Storm. And so that was really cool. I went over to Snow Canyon National Park. I did a quick little hike, and then I had lunch at the Cliffside Restaurant. So that was absolutely beautiful views of St. George, and so really enjoyed my time here, ready for a great football game tonight.
Absolutely. Go back to last year. It was a shootout down at Nacogdoches, 47-44. You might be here late into the night if we get a shootout again.
I was actually there during that matchup, and it was really incredible to see Utah Tech and to see Victor Gabalis do what he was able to do. Joey Hobart as well, of course, both of those pieces not on this team this year, but their resilience. That was a game where head coach Paul Peterson felt like the team was there. They just couldn't put together that full 4 quarters of football, and that was the game that they really got over that hump, a big confidence boost for that squad.
So what do you think we're expecting from Stephen F. Austin here tonight?
Stephen F. Austin is another team just like Utah Tech, looks very, very different than last year. Brian Maurer, the quarterback now, and he had some experience last year. He's the second year in the system, and they have a lot of new pieces. Kylan Harris, their wide receiver, he was there last year, but really wasn't a huge factor. He leads the team in touchdowns, 5 tonight, and they got a good rusher in Jarrell Wembley. So expect their offense to be able to kind of, if they can get it going early, they can light it up as well.
Utah Tech has been running the ball a little bit better the last 2 weeks with Ronnie Walker and Chris Street, but defensively stopping the run, going to be down a couple guys. Sam Kananata'a is out tonight, second week in a row he's missed, and Will Leota is out tonight.
Right.
So that run game probably going to put to the test, that run defense, I should say,
Absolutely.
for the Trailblazers. Kendra joining us here, Trailblazer Game Day, built by Bucks Ace Hardware. Kendra, talk to us about the vibe you're getting from coaches, athletic directors, people involved with the UAC. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement. People move quick to merge these conferences, and here we go. This is the first conference game for the Trailblazers. We're a game behind. Everybody else has played a conference game so far but us.
I know, it's exciting. You know, a lot of athletic directors, a lot of coaches are really excited. It brings stability for football when you had just 5 WAC teams and then 5 ASUN teams. You had to merge anyway to be able to get that automatic qualifier to that FCS playoffs, and so by merging them, you're bringing stability in a time when conference realignment and the college landscape is changing, and a lot of it's happening at that Power 5 level, but it trickles down and it affects every single school. And so being able to merge and have this conference where you're playing a lot of different teams and a lot of high quality opponents, I think has been really good and very positive from everyone involved so far.
So what can you tell us about some of these teams that have joined in? Obviously, we know the WAC teams pretty well here, but some of these other teams that are coming into it, and especially kind of the ones on Utah Tech's schedule, what are we looking forward to here in the upcoming weeks?
Looking at Utah Tech's schedule, there are no easy games, and I think that's one of the bright spots that the UAC has. You have North Alabama, that's a completely different team than last year. under the new Brent Dearman era. That's a team that's defense is becoming more of their stability. They want to go back to that purple swarm, which is how they were way back in the day. And Eastern Kentucky, that's not going to be an easy one. They're ranked number 24, I believe, and Austin Peay. That's a team that went toe-to-toe with Tennessee, an SEC powerhouse. And so a lot of these teams are really strong, and you guys are missing Central Arkansas this year on the schedule, but that's one of the teams that has one of the best, if not the best, running back in the nation in Shunderick Powell. And so you avoid them this year, and you'll get them next year.
Obviously, they're playing right now, late in the fourth quarter, and it's a Southeast Mississippi and Central Arkansas, 33-31. One other light slate in the UAC today, just 3 conference games. This is the nightcap, Stephen F. Austin at Utah Tech. The other one is SUU, though. They're playing down against Tarleton State, and right now, all Texans, 20-0. What's your reaction when I tell you those scores?
Yeah, I mean, that is a little surprising, I think, to me. Tarleton is a really quality team, and they have Victor Gabales, former Utah Tech quarterback, and what Todd Whitten has done with that program, especially during that 4-year transition period, has been pretty incredible. But Southern Utah really is a team I thought would get going. You know, they're 1-4 as well, but if you talk to head coach Delane Fitzgerald, he's like, we're the best 1-4 team in the nation right now, and they just are not getting their pieces together fully yet, and I really kind of thought they would do a little bit better in this matchup. But, you know, Tarleton State, especially going down into that hostile environment, not easy. And they're also your last game on the schedule for Utah Tech, and that's one that you also don't want to take lightly, of course, with that in-state rivalry as well.
Kendra, great to have you stop by. Final thoughts on the rest of the season. You got a favorite coming out of this? It's going to be, I mean, everybody wants to win a conference title. Everybody wants to get into the postseason. I mean, there's a lot at stake in this new merged UAC conference.
I think once the UAC play starts, and especially for Utah Tech, they're going to feel it. You know, those other games were non-conference games. They do matter, of course, and you're getting ready, but you're preparing for this moment and this game, and I think the vibe is just a little bit different for the Utah Tech Trailblazers in the locker room as they get ready to step out here. I'm really excited to see the product they put on the field.
Enjoy your stay in St. George. Thank you for
you.
stopping by.
Absolutely.
Trailblazer game day continues. She's Kendra Sheehan. Me and Kate will be back. A Coordinator's Corner coming up. We'll talk with one of the coordinators of the Trailblazers, getting you closer to kickoff. The nightcap tonight in conference play. Trailblazers at home here at Greater Zion Stadium. Quick break. We'll be right back at it.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Everyone loves local sports and, of course, loves ice cream. And the best ice cream on the planet is Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Open late every day of the week with dozens of delicious flavors. So after your favorite team wins, head over to Handel's to celebrate with locations in St. George, Layton, and Woods Cross.
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Here inside the Coordinator's Corner with Utah Tech coach and co-offensive coordinator, Coach Peter Tuitupo. Coach, how are you today?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you doing?
Doing well. Excited to have you back here in studio. I mean, we had you back in the very first Coordinator's Corner. A lot's happened since then. And, you know, some good, some not so good, but we're all here along the journey now, halfway through the season, getting ready for conference play. How's it feel to be finally getting into conference play?
Feels good. It's exciting. You know, obviously you always want to go through the non-conference and win them all. Obviously we're not at that. We didn't accomplish that, but you get to the point in the season where you get to conference play and you still have the goal of getting a conference championship, and that's kind of where we are. We're sitting 0-0 in conference and had a chance to go 1-0 and be in charge of our own destiny still. So it's exciting for players, coaches, everyone involved.
So tell me a little bit about the preseason play, you could call it, you know, the non-conference play leading up to the conference play. Like you say, the record may not show what you would want it to, but there's obviously things that you learn from this, and even games like the last game against Colorado State, where you're playing up against an FBS school. What are some of the things that you guys have learned through this process that you're taking with you into conference play?
I think the biggest thing is just consistency. Those first couple games, there was flashes of us doing things right, but in general, we just weren't consistent enough. The games that it showed up, Northern Arizona, we came away with a win. Last week versus Colorado State, there was more consistency. Still lacked a little bit, but we were able to see what we can do, at least offensively, when we are consistent at all positions, quarterbacks, running back, O-line. And so I think the record doesn't reflect how much we've grown since the beginning of the season, but I like where these guys are. They're still fighting, competing, and I like where we are heading into, like I said, conference play.
Now, talking about, of course, through this first part of the season, some key offensive players that have really come out. I mean, for one that I've noticed is it has to be Bo Sparks, your freshman. He's kind of lighting a fire under a lot of guys. Who are some of the names that come to mind for you?
Yeah, no, Bo's definitely one that comes to mind. You know, any true freshman that comes in and plays right away, he sticks out. The other is our true freshman center, Misi Malauia. And so those two guys are the ones sticking out off the top of my head. But there's a lot of guys that are contributing that didn't contribute last year. And these first 5 games were huge for them, just to get some of that experience, kind of getting a feel for what the speed of college football, the physicality of college football. And so it's good to kind of get that behind them, get some experience, and hopefully they're ready to roll now.
You got Stephen F. Austin coming up this week. Last year, I know was it was a really fun matchup for you guys against them. Came all the way down to a goal line stand right at the very end, and you guys came away with that win. What does it mean now looking into this week, knowing that, hey, we've beat these guys once before last year? We could do it again, right? What's the mentality right now?
Just the mentality every week moving forward is that we're playing good teams week in, week out. There's no team that we can take it easy on. And I think these guys, they're going to come in ready to play. I'm pretty sure they remember last year that we came in there and got that one. So just like every other week, we need to show up, ready to play, start fast, be able to finish the game strong, and just execute.
Yeah. Now, last week, you guys started really well against Colorado State. How important is it to just go through and, I mean, obviously you need to go through and play all 4 quarters, right? You got to play every single down like it's you're not going to get another one, right? So what does that look like for you guys on the offensive side of the ball? What are some of the goals and things you're trying to accomplish against a team like Stephen F. Austin that, again, it's a pretty good team here in the conference?
Yeah. Kind of one of the goals you have every week that helps kind of determine win losses is turnovers. Early on, we committed quite a few turnovers, and the games that we've done well, we limited those. And then just able to execute just simple things, just playing catch out there, run the ball, just typical answer, you know what I mean? But everyone just executing their assignment, making the routine. One of the sayings that we say is just making the routine plays routine, you know?
Sure. One of the things, too, when we were starting the season was there was a bit of a quarterback battle going on. It seems like Kobe Tracy's really taken into that spot and is doing well with that. What can you tell me about Kobe and his performance so far this season?
So Kobe's played a lot of football down here, and when he's on, we're going, you know, and he's done a much better job. I think early on, he was kind of, I don't want to say erratic, but he's done a good job of settling down, and he's been seeing the field really well and throwing what he sees these past couple weeks. And so if we can just keep him going, I think he's playing great. Just have him playing really confident and just throwing what he sees.
Do you feel like the run game has become a little more important? I know that obviously we're talking about your spread and shred offense, but that run game still obviously needs to be established. And you've got some guys that have been doing quite well. Do you feel like that's become more and more a part of the game as the season's gone on?
Yeah, no, the run game it's been a pleasant surprise. You know, we talk, spread and shred. So usually about the pass, right? But these past couple weeks, obviously Ronnie Walker's been a solid contributor every week. And these past couple weeks, Chris Street has really stepped up, and he's been coming along very nicely. And then you have obviously Nigel Osborne, who we signed last year, and he went through some injuries earlier, but he's getting back into the mix, and he's another electrifying back. So I think we got 3 great backs back there who give us a different, aspect of this offense that we're able to do different things, and that's helped out a lot. If you're able to run the ball, and obviously it opens up the pass and things.
So we'll see if they do commit again to the run game. Caden, good stuff there with Coach Tui. Obviously, co-offensive coordinators, and you go to the NAU game, that fast start, that 37-7 halftime lead, defense feeding the offense and defense feeding off the offense and vice versa. So a fast start tonight would be just what the doctor ordered for Coach Tui.
That's exactly right. They got to get out, and they got to get out quick.
All right, Trailblazer Game Day built by Bucks A. Sauer. Appreciate Sand Hollow Resorts. We're going to go to the kickoff countdown show with the voice of the Trailblazers, Rod Zundel and Devin Osborne, right now as we get you closer to kickoff.
Hey, we all brothers, we all family. Let's go, family. Oh, yeah. 3, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Trailblazer Kickoff, presented by TDS, Internet, TV, Phone.
Let's go!
Welcome back to St. George, counting down to kickoff, Utah Tech and Stephen F. Austin, Trailblazers' first ever game in the new United Athletic Conference.
And welcome inside Greater Zion Stadium. We're just under 30 minutes away from kickoff, Utah Tech and Stephen F. Austin. Hi there, everybody. Rod Zundel along with former Trailblazer receiver Devin Osborne. Devin, Utah Tech coming in with a record of 1-4, but man, that's kind of deceiving. They've had a heck of a schedule the first month of the season. 4 of their first 5 have been away from their home turf.
Yeah, I mean, playing on the road for almost a month has been pretty hard for the Trailblazers, but hopefully coming back home, being in front of your home crowd, your family, things like that, turns the tables for their season right now.
Yeah, when you look at the stadium, shadows are starting to come in. It's a great night for football, almost 90 degrees, and expecting a good crowd. The Stampede, the student section, they're already here and ready to go.
Yeah, the student section gets active really early, and we're going to be excited to see how the Trailblazers come out and play against their home crowd.
Utah Tech, they're 1-4. Stephen F. Austin coming in with a record of 3-2. Trailblazers coming off a tough loss last week at Fort Collins against FBS Colorado State, but they gave them a run, man. They were it was a 1-point game at the end of the third quarter against the Rams.
Yeah, Ronnie Walker and Chris Street on the ground rushing for 187 yards really put the Trailblazers on top against the Colorado State Rams. Yeah. And that was just big time, and hopefully they can do it again today for Stephen F. Austin.
Coach Peterson said he wanted to get better in that game against an FBS team, and he said he did. So right now we're going to go to the sounds of the game from Utah Tech and Colorado State, and they had a lot of great moments last Saturday in Fort Collins.
Walker has it, bust outside, 30, 35, 40, still on his feet, out near midfield, down to the 49-yard line. The delay to Chris Street, breaks one tackle, gets across the 30, breaks another tackle. Nicolosi steps up, can run if he wants, now he's going to throw deep. Intercepted at the 38-yard line. So here we go, 4th and a yard. The handoff to Walker, breaks through 45 and brought down at the 40-yard line. Needed a half a yard, he picked up 9. Ronnie Walker Jr. Handoff to Street, he breaks through, across the 35-30, he's on his way, the 20, the 15, and brought down from behind on a shoestring tackle. Here comes the pressure. Cyrus Webster's trying to get him, and he brings him down. Ball on the ground, a fumble recovery by Utah Tech. Tracy straight drop back, going deep across the middle. Bo Sparks got it. Touchdown! Touchdown Trailblazers! Kobe Tracy, 33 yards to Bo Sparks. We have lightning in the area. Both teams are going to their sidelines. Now they're going into the locker room. Gonna fake to Walker Jr. Across the middle to Ricky Johnson. He's got it across the 35. And off to Ronnie Walker Jr. He's got some room. 30, 25, down to the 20, and knocked out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Tracy's gonna throw. Looks left, going to the end zone. Sparks. Touchdown. Kobe Tracy to boast. And we're in a lightning delay again. Both teams heading to their own locker rooms again. The handoff right up the middle through the secondary 35, the 40. Chris Street out to the 40-yard line is the 52-yard attempt. It's long enough, and it is good. Now here comes the pressure, rolling right, being chased. Intercepted at the 4-yard line, and what a play. Utah Tech gave the Colorado State Rams all they wanted, but they ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. Much closer game than the 21-point win for the Rams.
All right, back here at Greater Zion Stadium, counting down the moments till kickoff, Utah Tech and Stephen F. Austin. Rod Zund along with Devin Osborne. When you take a look back at that game, 2 lightning delays and basically 2 full halftimes that they had to go through, and then you try to get re-energized and come back out. Have you ever been part of a lightning delay, let alone 2 and 2 halftimes?
The only lightning delays I've been part of is during practice, but, coming back from a lightning day is hard. You got to get back your body acclimated. You got to get back in activation, things like that. And the Trailblazers came out after the first lightning day really, really strong, but, 2 more, especially with a halftime on top of that, is pretty hard.
Through the Trailblazers got down by a couple of touchdowns. They came back, a 1-point game at the end of the third quarter. You had to be feeling good about whether they would win or lose. You had to feel good about the way they responded to adversity, not only on the field, but in the heavens as well.
Yeah, no, big time. I mean, coming in and playing an FBS opponent, sometimes you get a little rattled with the name and things like that, but the Trailblazers came out fighting, and they kept on fighting throughout the end of the game. And sometimes, attrition just comes with it, playing against bigger O linemen, D linemen, and things like that, and this happens in FBS games.
All right, well, a lot of things went right for Utah Tech last week, and now it's time to head to the film room. You've had plenty of those film sessions. Here is Coach Peterson with this edition of Film Session.
This first play we got here, the first drive, Colorado State went down and scored, and we answered right back. Kobe Tracy in the run game led us down to this position. We got a little man coverage. You can see the man eyes with these guys. This is a good man beater that we got called. Coach Tutupo put us in the right play. Kobe Tracy, and this is kind of the thing that we need to get better at. He's gonna force it here to Bo Sparks here in the middle. Bo goes behind the defender here. He should go in front, but our read's telling us when it's man to basically cut this in half and to read this concept over here to the left. So you can see Kobe makes a kind of a big no-no here. They're bringing a little pressure here off the edge with the 2 outside backers that leaves us with this man coverage. But Kobe sees that, does a good job of pulling it, but you can see he forces it, thinking that he's going to replace the blitzers, and instead he should come down here to this route concept. And you can see we've got 2 really good routes for him. This is early in the game, like I said, and this turnover was big. With a close game late, this would have been a good score to get some points on at least. We were pretty aggressive on our fourth down here. We got a little run concept. These guys got a lot of guys in the box, but we get a good push by these guys up front. You can see Ronnie does a really good job with his feet getting downhill. They're not a lot of bodies going backwards here. We've got a good line of scrimmage, and he does a good job of bouncing upside on a 4th and 1 to give us the ball down in a good down and distance here, getting first down. But really important for us in the run game, best game that we had, and opened up some of the pass game too. But good job with Ronnie getting his pads low there. This is after the turnover. Our defense, we won the turnover battle in this game, which has been awesome. It gives us a chance. We talked about that as our team. We've got a little 2-on-1 with the safety here, and he's cheating to Ricky's side on his route concept. And Bo does a really good job widening the defender and coming underneath. Kobe got good timing, and Bo had himself a day, a freshman, 2 touchdowns in a big game. There's a big throw. We had really good protection. You can see Kobe's got a nice little pocket here against some really good defenders. You can see our back coming up to secure that pocket, and Kobe's able to keep his eyes downfield, which enables a good throw and good catch. And a good job by Bo with the touchdown. A little bit later on in the game too, we got a nice little, you can see the man eyes again, right? You can see the man coverage, one of the things that we take a peek at as we're grading these guys watching film. Good job here. It looks like they're gonna do a little bracket on our defender here on the inside, take away the inside and play some outside leverage. We got a nice little route concept with our slant and an arrow route, and Kobe just decides to throw that to the back of the corner of the end zone, and Bo does a really good job for his second touchdown, tapping his feet. Again, we got really good protection. We like to shore up this left side here a little bit better, so Kobe doesn't have people at his feet, but he's able to keep his eyes downfield and get that ball out, and you can see Bo just gets that foot down right there. They reviewed it. Touchdown. Good job. This is a really good job by Cyrus. Again, we got some good coverage. We forced him to flush out of the pocket. It's actually a really good job, too. Okeke does a good job of forcing him to step up, and then Cyrus is coming underneath, so the quarterback has to bounce outside the pocket. And you can see Cyrus, just with his relentless effort, is able to make a play, a sack fumble, and we take advantage of it. Again, we score a touchdown, I think, that very next play. So really good job. Fun for our guys to celebrate here on the sideline. A big play and big fumble recovery for us. Really good job flushing him again outside the pocket, buying some time, allow him to force the ball. I don't know if he's trying to throw this away or to his defender, but you can see our defensive line, are moving and working. We like to keep him inside the pocket to step up to get the protection here, but guys get sticky in that scramble drill, and he forces the ball. Again, we get an interception. Really good job. Fun for our guys in those turnovers. So there's three of them there. Really fun for our team. I thought they played exceptionally well as far as toughness goes and competed at a very high level. There's still some of these little details that we need to fix. But competing in those third downs and we won the third down battle and we won the turnover battle, gives us a chance to be able to win that football game. They just made more plays than us, and we got to make some more plays.
A lot of big-time throws. I mean, connecting with Bo Sparks a couple times, even Javion and Ricky. But it was just those missed throws that he did, the interception over the middle when he should have threw the slot fade to Ricky Johnson, or little things like that. And on the defensive side, they made plays as well.
But when you saw it and watched his film breakdown, a lot of good things happening.
Yeah,
and if they can do that against an FBS team, think of what they can do against an FCS team like Stephen F. Austin if they execute the same way.
Yeah, they should come out with the same type of a mentality and just go out there and just ball. Because, Stephen F. Austin runs a lot of the same things that Colorado State run, a lot of man, a lot of cover three and things like that. So Kobe Tracy, expect Kobe Tracy and those slot receivers and outside receivers to exploit those matchups.
Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the history of these two schools, the Jacks and the Trailblazers. You were part of one of the greatest games in the recent memory last year against the Lumberjacks. We'll take a look at that and some keys to the game when we come back. This is the Trailblazer Kickoff on Trailblazer Sports Vision.
He's on the 30-yard line, the 20, the 10.
You wouldn't want an incomplete football game. So why use a website with incomplete listings of Southern Utah properties? SouthernUtahRealestate.com is the most complete, most accurate, and most comprehensive property search in Washington County. Because we're not focused on everything, just on the part that we like the best. Find your Southern Utah home at SouthernUtahRealestate.com.
Finley Hyundai, committed to high-quality service and sales for local drivers. Stress-free car buying guaranteed.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, Canyon Media, here for you.
It's any card for the win right now at Mountain America Credit Union, which means it's time to score some cash. Simply tap, swipe, or click checkout with any Mountain America debit or credit card to be entered into a weekly giveaway for up to $500, now until September 30th. Visit macu.com/anycard to learn how to earn extra entries or to open a new account today.
Here we go. 1 second left. One play to win it or lose it. The fake handoff. The jump pass. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. Trailblazers win it. Trailblazers win it. Well, that was nearly a year ago in Nacogdoches, Texas. Utah Tech going into Stephen F. Austin and beating the Jacks on the final play of the game on a goal line stand. Justin Kirkland, who went to transfer portal to Oklahoma State, by the way, knocked that pass down. And you guys snapped the second longest home winning streak in the nation. And you were part of that last year. What was that like?
No, it was so much fun. I mean, we went through so much trials and tribulations that season, and that kind of started off our little run that we had at the end of the season. You know, Justin Kirkland just making the big plays, and there were so many plays being made that game, and we kind of just came in with that mentality, like, we're just going to make it happen.
They had Stephen F. Austin had the second longest home winning streak in the nation, and they were ranked 19th at the time. You guys are on a losing streak. That propelled you to win 3 of your final 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, just coming out with that momentum, you know, those are big-time wins, and those are signature wins for our programs. That's something that's going to live on forever, and that just gave us a lot of momentum coming into that next week against SCU, Tarleton, and then eventually BYU.
Okay, this is only the second home game this year, and we're already in 6 games into the season. But Utah Tech will be wearing some special things on their helmet in honor of 3 former teammates that have passed on. You were a teammate of all 3 of these guys.
Yeah, Abraham Reinhardt, Jay-Sean Allen, and Brian Oney. They're amazing guys. Abe, I've known him since I was a freshman here when I first got here. He was an outstanding linebacker, made a lot of big plays. His last play in the Trailblazers uniform was a pick 6. Jay-Sean Allen was a great guy, a St. George guy, played at Pineview High School, was amazing. I know his father really well and his sister, and he was an amazing player for us. And then Brian Oney was just a great guy. You know, he was one of those guys that you can just look to. He was always respectful and always just wanted to talk to you, have fun, and had a good time with you.
So they'll be honoring those 3 former Trailblazers all through the season with those patches on their helmets. The Stampede, the student section, they're already here in force. Devin, we had a good student section, good crowd in the first game against Montana. We're expecting another good one tonight.
Yeah, big time. Those student sections, hopefully they can get rowdy and get the game some good energy for our team to come out and get this win.
All right, so what did Coach Peterson think of the game last Saturday at Colorado State, and what does he expect from tonight against Stephen F. Austin? Well, Devin, we're going to find out now in our coach's pregame interview with head coach Paul Peterson. Coach, you said before last game you just wanted to get better. Did you accomplish that goal against Colorado State?
Yeah, I think so. We played some good football, and you know, we ticked off some boxes that we wanted to make sure that we accomplished. But you know, we ended up losing. But I think it gave us some confidence coming into our conference schedule for sure.
What are some of those boxes that you wanted to check off?
Yeah, so I mean, we did really well on third downs. You know, we wanted to be over 40% and hold them less than 40%. We did that. We won the turnover margin, which was important for us. You know, we made some plays when we need to that allowed us to stay in the game up to that point, and then that fourth quarter they made some big plays that we couldn't capitalize on offensively after that.
Against an FBS school like Colorado State, you controlled the line of scrimmage when it came to the running game. Your best running game of the season. You got to be excited about that prospect.
Yeah, I think that helps the pass game and vice versa, and I think our running backs really did a good job of getting downhill and keeping their feet moving on contact, which is always important. But our offensive line was on point, and we were able to get up to that second level, which is huge.
Falling down by a couple of touchdowns, but coming back and making it a one-point game, a couple of minutes left in the third. Is that a confidence builder, saying, okay, you know what, if we do things well, we can compete with anybody?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think that. Playing a high-caliber team like that in an environment that was It was loud. They had a ton of fans there. We had the lightning strikes and all that that played a little part in that too. But I was proud of our guys, man. They played really well. And that's going to give us some confidence, like I said, coming into our conference games.
Stephen F. Austin, last year you beat them on a goal line stand on the final play of the game. They're going to have a chip on their shoulder, wanted some payback.
Oh, yeah, they're well coached. I really enjoy their coach. He's fun to be around. He's a good dude. They play hard. They got really good skill players. It's going to be a good matchup. It's going to, hopefully it doesn't come down to the last play of the game again, but it's going to be a game like that.
They don't have Xavier Gibson like they had the last couple of years. He's with the Jets now, but they had a guy that 3 touchdowns, 111 yards, guy that can replace him. Yeah, they know who to get to the ball to. I thought Self last year, their quarterback, did a really good job with his feet as well and extending plays. This quarterback this year is a little bit different, but they know how to use them. They're going to get the ball out. They do a lot of run pass option, RPOs, and they're going to get their playmakers the ball. So we got to do a really good job tackling off, make them earn it, don't give them anything, and offensively, kind of the same thing. We've got to be able to take care of the football and convert and score touchdowns. Hellacious schedule, first 4 of the first 5 on the road. Now you open up your conference here at home. Are you guys better because of the schedule and being on the road so much, playing against some great teams in the FCS? Well, I told the team we'd be dumb not to learn from those games. I mean, they were tough games. That's where we want to get to. Those are playoff teams that we're playing, and if we want to compete here next year, be playoff ready, we got to play playoff teams. Tough 4 away games, but we didn't back down, and our guys I thought showed up, and so. Again, we needed to learn from those games, and I think coming up to this point in the season, I'm excited to see where we're at. Aside from getting the win, last week you said you want to get better. What do you want to get accomplished this game? Besides the win. Yeah, besides the win. I mean, nothing else matters if you win. You know what I mean? So I want to play complementary football and have feed off each other. I'm excited to be home. We didn't play very well against Montana. It was kind of a wah-wah-wah game. We were down early in the first half. Our guys fought that second half I was proud of, but want to give our guys a show, and they're going to be playing in front of their peers and their family, and I want to put it all together, a game all together, All right, Coach, have a good game. Yeah, all right. All right, that was Coach Paul Peterson. We are moments away from kickoff, Utah Tech and Stephen F. Austin, the first ever game in the United Athletic Conference, first year for that, and first ever game for the Trailblazers in this new conference. All right, Devin, you heard Coach Peterson talk about, what a hellacious schedule. 4 of the first 5 on the road. You played a number 3 team in the country in Montana State, top 15 team in Montana, an FBS school, Missouri State, that was in the playoffs, FCS playoffs last couple of years. And if they've learned anything about it, if it's helped them get ready for the conference play. As a player, you've been there. Does that kind of trials and tribulations in preseason and exhibition get you ready for conference? Oh, big time. I mean, you don't want to just come out and playing easy opponents week in and week out. You want to come play some of the top dogs and see where you really rank out. I mean, we are at the end of our transition period. We were with D2 school. Now we're D1 FCS school. And those type of games, playing those top teams really helped us, go out and play these bigger opponents and really make a run in our conference. All right. Well, the moment has almost arrived, Devin. Kickoff is coming up. Utah Tech and Stephen F. Austin. You can watch the game live on ESPN+. You can also listen to it on the Fan Sports Radio Network. You can also go get the Fan Sports Radio app and download it on your phone as well. All right, thanks to everybody for helping us put on this production on Trailblazer Sports Vision. Reminder, we'll be coming back on radio and also streaming on Trailblazer Sports Vision for our post-game show. Utah Tech, Stephen F. Austin, kickoff coming up next.